Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and this is game number 2 of a best of 3. It is a bit of Protoss versus Zerg, and Akelon Waste is going to be the map for game number 2. Now down in the bottom right position, we've got the pink Protoss player from Team Fnatic, currently 0-1 down. It is Harstem. And his opponent spawning in the top left, the red Zerg player from Team Acer, Bly. Of course, this is from the Russian Star League, and the big thing is Harstem needs to win this game to level out this series. And oh my goodness, he's going for a Forge Fast Expand on Akelon. Now, this is a bold move. Very bold move. Nearly every Protoss player goes for a Gateway Expand here, because this natural is so wide. But then, of course, in game number 1 on Belgier, Harstem went for a Nexus first. So, clearly not afraid to flout with danger. Bly currently opening up exactly the same, including the extractor trick. Probably just going to go fairly sad and no early pull, but the probe scout coming down nice and early once again for Harstem. Just going to come around and check that, okay, everything's going how I would expect it to. No early pulls, I'm safe. But if Harstem generally goes for a Nexus first on Akelon Wastes, he has got balls of steel. That's as simple as it is, because it is such a wide ramp. He can't, no, he's putting down the probe too early. He is going to get the Forge. Please get the Forge, Harstem. Please, Harstem, please, just put down the Forge, be safe, thank you. Whew, I was worried for a second. Now, anyway, spawning pool coming down here for Bly. Things going now pretty normal. Bly just needs to make sure that up against the Forge Fast Expand, he takes his third at around the 4 minute 20 mark. Doesn't need to get it sooner than that because it's not a Nexus first, but yeah. That should be good. Of course, he will take this third. A lot of people who don't play Zerg will think, well, surely they're going to take this one because then they've got the Rock Tower. Wrong. There's rocks here. These rocks are nasty. Rocks have 2,000 health, and they also have 3 armor. Early game, you have Zerglings to try and kill them, and basically you will die of old age before those rocks die. And also, it's difficult to defend even with that rock tower there, because 1, this is still a tight choke, even with or without the rock tower taken down. And that means force fields are good. Secondly, there's this cliff area. That's something that is very awkward to try and get round to get an attack arc or go around. Thirdly, if you're defending here and your opponent sends some units here and these rocks aren't down, guess what? You cannot defend both. Even if you can, a force field, 2 force fields in this position, not going to work too nicely. But this base, which is obviously the one that you want to take, it's kind of all in this big open space. That means force fields ineffective, and you can get nice rounds. That's why this base is always taken as a third. Always, always, always. So any Zerg players who are watching who take this as a third base, don't. Just don't do it. It's not the best third to take. Anyway, meanwhile for Bly, he's not going to be going for that third early either. He's expecting, even though he's scouted that there's forges here, he's still getting down that extractor really nice and quick. So this is that extractor build where you go pull hatch gas is usually what you'll do against a Protoss player who goes for a Gateway Expand, and that's because you need the speed out to deal with the potential aggression that's coming in. These Zerglings trying to sneak through. Good little work with the probe, though, actually forcing them into range and blocking them a little bit, just so one of them gets very badly damaged. Now also going to maneuver these probes round, and ooh, nice little bit of a fight here. Is going to be able to take out one of those lings, and of course, now Bly with a single Zergling in the base, that isn't something that Harstem's going to be too worried about. Meanwhile, Gateway coming down, all looking good. The gas still trickling in here for Bly. I'll be interested to see whether he does pull out the gas from that extractor, or if he'll keep it coming just to get the layer down quickly again and go into those Hydralisks or potentially even Mutas that we saw in game number 1. So, yeah, got to keep an eye out for what he's going to be doing. Harstem, though, at the moment, he's just playing it pretty standard. We're not going to get much of a giveaway on his plans. And, ooh, variation coming down here. Bly getting up the Roach Warren, not Zergling speed. At least not yet. He may still get it. He's only just hit 100 gas, so got to keep an eye out for this. But this could be a big Roach push coming down from the Zerg player. Something that, clearly, Harstem does need to identify and make very certain that he doesn't get caught out by, because if he does, that could do a lot of damage. It could also just be defensive. So let's not jump to conclusions. The thing is, though, with no speed started, it's probably going to be a good couple of roaches coming out very quickly. Are there lava banked up? Yes, there are as well. So this just means Bly now is going to be going for a big roach push. He's going to go for it as soon as that roach run finishes. Instantly 7 roaches on their way out. Doesn't have enough money to start more, but very well may do. Also, this Ling is still just trying to be a little bit annoying. The Cybercore only just finished, and it's a Stargate coming down here from Harstem. The second cannon is on its way, and that's in direct response to Harstem not yet seeing a third. He wants to make sure that, okay, this is probably going to be some pressure. Second cannon needed. The Stargate as well, just in case this Mutalisks are going to be on the cards once more. But forward come the Roaches. There's in grand total 7 of them, with an 8th just popping out now. But droning has commenced behind this. So it's an 8 Roach rush coming down from the Acer player. Harstem, in terms of the defense of this, he has 1 Zealot and 1 Sentry, not producing anything else either. The second cannon gets cancelled as well. He thinks he's safe. This is such a dangerous position now for Harstem. This game could be incredibly quick. The Photon Overcharge is not available. The Mothership Core only just popped out. The Force Field has to be right on the money. The Mothership Core is now going to see these Roaches, and this is where Harstem suddenly going to be a little less happy. Starts up that Void Ray very, very quickly, and Force Fields will, of course, start coming down, trying to make sure that these Roaches can't get in. The cannon getting focused. The Mothership Core deals just such a pathetically small amount of damage, but with the cannon falling, the wall off is going to have to be completed by an additional gateway. But the pylon getting focused down. Another gateway was going to try and get started, but the Zealot, the traitorous Zealot, getting in the way. Of course, once that Void Ray pops out, though, Harstem will be able to clean this out quite quickly. With prismatic alignment, the damage he deals is going to be pretty damn good. But yeah, in comes these Roaches. They're going to start dealing the damage. The Sentry goes down, but the Void Ray now popping out. There's going to be limited time now for these Roaches to deal as much damage as they can, but damage is being done nonetheless. The problem is, even though 6 workers have been killed, Bly still hasn't taken a 3rd base. Good time warp there means that Void Ray is going to get a couple more seconds of damage off, and only a single Roach makes it into the main. In grand total, 6 probes killed, but, and this is the big but, the 3rd only just now getting started here for Bly. Harstem doesn't even need to know that, but Bly's economy is massively delayed now. He's on equal bases with Harstem. This 3rd came down at, 9 minutes, when you'd expect to see it at about 4 minutes 15. So, as we all know, that's a huge delay, an absolutely massive delay, and Harstem's going to try and punish that by really just getting out a 2nd Stargate. He's got to be careful though, because the Hydra Den has just completed. Hydra is coming out in response to the fact that a Stargate and Void Rays were seen. Very similar composition by Harstem at the moment, who has continued just probing back up. He's only behind by 18 workers, and Bly now taking the double expand in order just to try and catch up economically. He has to do this. He did not do enough damage killing 8 probes, in my opinion, to justify how much of an economical hit he's taken. But if he does secure up this 4th base, he's going to have a lot of production and be able to join up very hard. Hydras are coming out, and Overlord goes down. Those supply blocks Bly. Incredibly irritating. Single Hydra going to scare back this Void Ray. But of course, these Hydras don't have muscular augments, don't have that speed upgrade, so can't go chasing it down. The Void Ray is going to be able to easily get away perfectly safely. Also, the Hydra being shown, for the moment at least, Harstem not producing anything else. This supply block for Bly, though, pretty devastating. This is a huge supply block, 7 Overlords in production, but nonetheless very frustrating. Phoenix even finding a couple of Overlords around the map. This is just picking off units for free, and anytime you pick off a unit for free, you're going to be very happy about it. Harstem just trying to retake map control, take his 3rd base as well. He hasn't actually scouted the 4th or the 3rd, but did see the creep there, so even though it was generated from an Overlord, he's going to assume that there's a base down there. And now with the Phoenix coming in, he's going to scout the 4th base too. This is really important for Bly, because for Harstem rather, because Bly, all of his plans have been revealed. Harstem knows exactly what he's doing, and therefore he's going to be able to respond to it. And his response, well, firstly, he's got this 3rd, which he knows is going to be safe. The rock tower is down, and ultimately, if your opponent has taken a quick 4th base, they're not going to be looking to come and attack you anytime soon. He also scouts the Spire. What a fantastic scout there, straight away. And yeah, this is brilliant. That Spire may even get cancelled, depending on what Bly's planning on doing. He may still get the Corruptors out though, just to go with a similar composition to game number 1. But this game, we've got +1 air weapons getting started here. Also, no +1 ground weapons or ground armor being started here by Harstem. So he's clearly going for Sky Toss. We do have the 3rd Stargate on its way. Will we see a fleet beacon? Every part of me prays every single game that there's going to be carriers. Regardless of whether it's a good strategy or not, everyone loves carriers, right? If you don't love carriers, that you've got a cold heart. Like, come on. They need a buff, man. They need to be made so viable that you see them every game, because we just love that. I would anyway. Now, anyway, Void Ray seeing a couple of Hydralists. They're not going to be too happy about that. A single changeling. Just kind of come and observe this cliff ledge here, be like, oh, okay, it's a cliff, good news there. Of course, with these rocks coming down there, you still got these undestroyable rocks where you can very quickly put down force fields, a good number of sentries there. The Hydra's going to come around to the natural, trying to get a lot of attack there. 1-1 upgrades, missile attack for Bly coming down, as well as the 5th. That is pretty good. That 5th coming down, fairly huge. We do as well have now the Forge getting taken down. That's a nice little snipe there. Of course, no more upgrades for Harstem, at least for the meantime. He's getting down another forge though, that's fine. Once again, the infestation pit from Bly here. This just means that with this infestation pit there, swarm hosts can be coming out. And if there was one thing that wrecked Harstem in game number 1, it was those chain fungals. The fungal growths he really couldn't deal with, especially with the Sky Toss Force. He's getting 3 Void Rays out at a time, +1 air weapons nearly finished up, but +1 air weapons also coming down here for Bly. The Hallucinated Phoenix was getting some good information. Did, I believe, see the infestation pit? Yes, it has. So Harstem knows what's coming here. Will he get down that Templar Archives a little bit quicker than game number 1? Well, probably not, because he doesn't even have the Twilight Council yet, only just now starting that. But a couple of High Templar with some Storms would be very good. We've also now got the 6th base coming down here for Bly. Talk about taking the map. That's what he wants to do here. He wants all of the income, all of the economy, and he's certainly going to try and get it. But look at this. Mutalisks coming out. Such a smart move here. Voidways, really not good against Mutas. Sentries, yeah, they're actually okay against Mutas with Guardian Shield. I think it's something ridiculous. Like, I've heard rumors that if you get 200 sentries against 200 Mutas, the sentries win that fight. I've never tested it though. I probably should test it before I say that is fact. But someone told me it's something that Day 9 said in one of his dailies and proved it, and I just still don't personally see it. So yeah, all in all, we do now have good Photon Overcharge coming down. These Phoenix are going to have a bit of a tough time. There's only 3 Phoenix up against a lot of Mutalisks here. The Mutalisks are just going to come straight in. They don't have +1 yet, though. The Voidways and, of course, those Sentries dealing some nice damage, pushing in. We do have a good number of Mutas still making their way forward, trying to pick off a couple more of those probes, dealing as much damage as they possibly can. And, yeah, the Mutalisks, they are going to be able to chase down these Void Rays, actually. The Void Rays overcommitting there. Harstem's got to be careful, but with more Phoenix coming in, the Mutalisks have also got to be careful. This is a mass air battle. Both sides want to get superiority there. 25 Mutalisks on the field, though, up against just 7 Phoenix. That means that the Phoenix misstep, even once, they're going to get taken out very quickly. They do go out of position, leaving the main somewhat vulnerable. Ion Post Crystals isn't researched. There isn't even a Fleet Beacon, so it can't get researched yet. And this is what I mean. If one misstep from the Phoenix, a big volley from those Mutas can deal a huge amount of damage. The Void Rays, though, plus those Phoenix dealing a good amount of damage back, and this is going to be very, very tough. And yeah, as it stands now, these Phoenix are going to try and pick off as many Mutalisks as they can. Bly, though, still ahead in terms of supply, but his bank absolutely huge. That's the thing. A second Spire even coming down now. Corruptors on their way out. No Hive as of... Oh, sorry, no, the Hive is done. No Greater Spire as of yet. Interesting there from Bly. I'm surprised he's not doing that. Instead, getting the +1 Carapace for Flyer. Interesting choices. These Hydras, once again, just trying to get a little bit of a ninja squad in here. Just pick off anything they can find. And yeah, so as long as he keeps that up, it's going to be okay. Some of the observers in the match just saying a couple of things there. It's a bit annoying when observers say stuff in the game. But of course, obviously having some tech issues can't be avoided. Only way to get, obviously, info to the streamers. But yeah, as we can see, these Corruptors and Mutalisks pulling their way back. The Phoenix count, though, is getting pretty damn high. 13 of them up against 15 Mutalisks. That's a fight the Phoenix are going to win quite comfortably. The second Spire is on its way up. So, yeah, no Greater Spire yet, but it probably will get started once this is done. Unless, of course, there's going to be those double upgrades on their way. But yeah, in come all of this Air Force from the Zerg. Maxed out Bly is going to start trying to push forward. He's got a lot of Corruptors there. The Phoenix need to prioritize the Mutalisks if they can, and once they do, that's going to be good news, because that means the Mutal count will start falling. Only 12 Mutalisks up against 14 Phoenix now, but the 16 Corruptors are going to do a good amount of damage against the 7 Void Rays. Zergling counterattack, so this is always where things get exciting. If these can push in, get into the main base, for example, it can be very devastating. Should also split them up, some to the natural, some to the main, and that is exactly what Bly is going to be doing straight now into that natural base. We've also got the Skyforce coming in there, going to start trying to take out some more of the third. These Zerglings in the main going up against some Zealots, but of course, the Zealots have no upgrades compared to +1 armor done for those Lings. The Zealots as well now trying to attack into the 6th base of Bly, but of course the Corruptors winning the fight at the moment for the air, but the Mutalisks are paying the price in order trying to soak up some of that damage. Workers killed. Bly's killed 24 now. If we look at Harstem's economy, it's sitting down at 59 to 81 drones. Big lead there for Harstem, +2 missile attack on its way, the Ultralisk Cavern, and yeah, as it stands, this is just very heavily upgraded air forces at the moment for Bly. Meanwhile, Harstem, he's only got +1 air weapons. He's he's not really committing to anything specifically at the moment. He does have the fleet beacon down, but hasn't really started anything there. Could do with getting something though fairly soon, because otherwise Bly's just going to start teching up. Harstem one supply ahead, but if one more Phoenix goes down, that will very rapidly change. Zerglings of course still running around. These Zealots going to get picked off. Can't even get past the rocks either, so good map awareness right now from Bly, just making sure that he's doing everything he can, and these Corruptors cannot engage under cannons and those Void Rays and Stalkers. That's a Corruptor killing force if ever there was one, but Bly just trying to whittle down the number of Void Rays, knowing that economically Bly, he's ahead, and Harstem cannot keep up with him if he just keeps trading nicely, especially the bank, 2.5k minerals and gas sitting there. That's a nice little bit of income that's going to be streaming through. These Phoenix dealing some nice damage. Just trying to pick off anything they can, and that's why Spore Coolers are going to be coming down. But with this many Phoenix, they can just come and pick off drones near instantly. They can pick off these overlords very quickly as well. A lot of counter damage being done, but at the same time though, Bly, he's pushing across with these Zerglings, stealing as much as he can, and if he gets this Nexus, it would be absolutely huge, because Harstem will then be knocked down a mining base, and it does fall. The fourth is up, but it's only just really recently been taken, so that means it's now going to be a 2 mining base Protoss up against the Zerg player sitting on 5 bases quite comfortably, and with a 6th that's only just been taken down. So, yeah, all in all, we do see more damage being taken. These Zerglings for Bly could actually be doing a little bit more, but just trying to stay out of the range of the cannons, because if you A-move them, they'll do some more damage. They're just sitting there, making sure anything that's around will get taken out, but Harstem, he seems to have had enough of this. He's starting to move forward, trying to get himself into a bit more of a comfortable spot, trying to do a little bit of counter-aggression. He wants to knock out this 4th base of Bly, and Bly doesn't really have too much to defend. He's getting some Infestors out, but 13 Corruptors and 5 Ultras is all that's there. He needs those Infestors to lock down this army, allowing the Ultras to close it up, but with all the Void Rays, 9 Void Rays up against 13 Corruptors, that's going to be a bit tougher to try and deal with. The Corruptors need to be focused prioritarily, because then the Void Rays can clean up the Ultras without taking any damage, and that is exactly what's happening here. Transfuse is trying to go down on the Corruptors as fast as possible, but Harstem definitely winning the fight with those Void Rays, but the Ultras, the Lings, are forcing back the Stalkers. This is not what Harstem would have wanted. Yes, he can do some nice damage here, but as the Infestors come out, of course the fungal growths that were devastating in the first game can start coming. The fungal growth not quite there yet. Is pathogen glands not done? No, it isn't. Bly never researched pathogen glands. He can't get the fungal growth he needs, but Harstem has got a bit of a problem knocking at his door. A whole ton of Ultralisks making their way forward. They're going to start beating through, and there is the GG. Well played. Harstem knows that he wouldn't be able to stop that force, and that means Bly takes the series 2-0. So congratulations to Bly there. Very well done by him. If you enjoyed those games, make sure you like the videos, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily. So I'll catch you all tomorrow for yet another new cast. I'm Madals, thanks for watching, and bye for now.